Hello, it's 8 a.m. local time. You're watching VTV News live from Hanoi. Thanks for tuning in. I am Dae Chang, and here are headlines for this hour. Overseas Vietnamese in Laos contribute to boosting economic ties between the two countries. Custom-made prosthetics make a difference for bomb and mine victims in Ha Giang province. And Vietnam promotes tourism in Western European markets. Top news for this hour. Under the leadership of the Communist Party of Vietnam over the past 60 years, the generation of lawyers have played their part in the development of the nation. After 12 congresses, the Lawyers Association of Vietnam has established branches in 63 cities and provinces. At present, there are more than 46,000 members operating in all areas of the law. Speaking at the Vietnam Lawyers Association's 60th anniversary in Hanoi on Saturday, permanent member of the Secretariat Lê Hồng Anh praised the association's contribution towards national construction and defense and asked for the wider circulation of the party resolutions to boost party leadership in the association so that its members become paragons of justice, protection, and the builder of a socialist state of law. Total trade turnover between Laos and Vietnam in 2014 reached $1.4 billion, thanks to the stalling efforts of the two countries' related authorities and business communities, and especially the overseas Vietnamese community. The following report from our VTV reporter in Laos will show the efforts being made to promote the Vietnamese brands there.
Recently, in many streets in Vientiane, Vietnamese shoe brands have been securing a positions in the local market. This comes after a long period of hard work by Vietnamese entrepreneurs to penetrate this Laos market.
Here they have Thai and Chinese shoes, but we want to see if our designs and quality can compete with other brands. Moreover, we want to bring Vietnamese brands into the world.
Vietnamese shoes are very good. They are both durable and fashionable, and the price is reasonable, ranging from only $10 to $15 per pair. We can wear them for almost any occasion, from weddings to working.
However, Vietnamese entrepreneurs in Laos face several challenges, such as a lack of distribution channels and high freight costs. These are the obstacles for Vietnamese goods to overcome in order to gain a better market share.
Because of the freight costs, our prices are higher than Thai's. So even though the quality might be the same, people would choose Thai goods over ours.
Hardworking and persistent, Vietnamese people in Laos will contribute significantly to the target of raising two-way trade turnover to $2 billion in 2015.
The government recently issued the Decree 34, which makes some amendments and supplements to the 2013 Decree 53 regarding the establishment, organizations, and operation of the Vietnam Asset Management Company, also known as VAMC. According to this new decree, the VAMC can now issue bonds to buy bad debts at market prices. Credit institutions can use VAMC's bonds in the open markets and to refinance at the State Bank of Vietnam. The State Bank of Vietnam regulates VAMC's bonds issuance, and the VAMC can issue bonds in four ways: tender bonds, underwriting, wholesale bonds, and direct sales. More than 100,000 Vietnamese workers went abroad to work in 2014, and this year the Ministry of Labor's Invalids and Social Affairs aims to increase this figure by 10%. However, human resource training has been overlooked by many Vietnamese companies, and making the supply for exported labor fall short in the demand in foreign markets.
JP Group from Greece is providing 2,000 construction workers for the Middle Eastern market. Meanwhile, Laos and Vietnam, despite being leaders in providing construction labor and having an adequate training facility, can only provide 100 workers every 3 months for foreign experts' consideration. Inadequate training and a shortage in the supply of workers for export for many years has been a striking issue in Vietnamese labor market.
We are lacking skilled labourers and labourers with English language skills. We also find it challenging to select enough qualified workers for big foreign companies whose demands are more than 1,000 workers.
The Middle East is becoming a big employer of Vietnamese workers with about 16,000 workers. The salary here ranges from $400 to $600 per month for general labourers, while construction engineers top the salary ranking at $2,000 per month. However, as there is a shortage of labour, Vietnam can only fulfill the small and medium supply contracts. According to the Department of Overseas Labour, Vietnamese companies are still passive in cooperation with vocational training units to provide a source of skilled labour.
We have carried out several projects in training workers in many fields, such as in construction and in medical care for the international labour market. Hopefully, the number of qualified labourers in the export market will increase this year.
In order to solve the problem, Vietnamese companies should be allowed to train workers both through their own training courses and through cooperation with other vocational training centres. The amount of workers in stock for export should be raised to a maximum level of 30%, which was the total number of labourers exported in the previous year.
Now, the Phu Quoc Island district has become a magnet for tourism property developers in recent years, owing to its friendly policies aimed at transforming the islands into tourism hotspots. Currently, many giants have entered the tourism property markets here and are stepping up their project's progress to make them operational as soon as possible. Given that the island's infrastructure system includes an international airport, a seaport, and recently upgraded roads, investors are enthusiastic about the developments currently underway. In a master development plan approved by the Prime Minister, the island will function as a special economic zone, a center of high-quality ecotourism, including trade and luxury services, and an area specializing in high technology. Now, Vietnam plans to spend over $46 million in planting and restoring coastal projects in the 19 major provinces throughout the country over the next 3 years. The next 5 years. This plan is part of the national strategy on climate change issued by the Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng for the period 2015 to 2020. In response to this plan, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development hosted a conference to implement its main points. Experts at the event noted that although Vietnam only has 3% of coastal forest areas, these areas are keystones in terms of maintaining biodiversity and protection against rising sea levels and storms. Vietnam aims to restore and plant 60,000 hectares of coastal forests over the next 5 years, effectively increasing coastal forest areas to 20% of the country's total surface areas. In order to achieve these targets, the ministry plans to coordinate with related ministries, mobilize resources, and use high-tech applications to develop this coastal forestation plan. Coming up next on VTV News, custom-made prosthetics make difference for bone and mind in the northern province of Hà Giang. And Vietnam promotes tourism in Western European markets.
Exotic Vietnam is an intriguing blend of many charms. This land is where all manner of stunning landscapes await like a visual feast, rivaled only by the beauty of its people and their abundantly rich tradition and culture. Here is where you can relive the past in richest color or live it up in the bright lights of the big city. With so much more to offer, Vietnam is simply unforgettable.
You're watching VTV News live from Hanoi. Now, the International Day of Mine Awareness, which occurred yesterday or April the 4th, marked the importance of mine and bomb detection in mitigating the consequences of war. However, equally important is providing assistance to the victims. The following story will take you to Ha Giang province, where prosthetics are making a huge difference for everyday life of the war, bomb and war victims here in Ha Giang.
Bao Văn Tai and his family have been depending on this motorbike transport business for their livelihood since 2000. After a mine accident took away his leg, social organizations provided him with 3 different prosthetic legs, and without them, Tai would not have been able to ride.
I did not originally think of the prosthetic leg option, so the first one was not a really good fit. I learned from that experience and made one that suited my needs. Then I finally found a perfect, comfortable third one in Vị Xuyên last year.
For mine victims who have to travel through the mountainous terrain of Ha Giang every day, their prosthetic must be designed for comfort and convenience and must be tailored to their daily life activities. Vị Xuyên Prosthetic Factories produces these essential items, which are invaluable to those that use them. Notably, this project was made possible by the assistance and funding of the Vietnam Veterans of America.
Legs here are not about aesthetics anymore, as the material used to emulate real body parts cannot endure the heavy impact sustained during life here. Moreover, most prosthetics users here are farmers and would get the prosthetic foot stuck in the mud. Therefore, we have also eliminated the foot parts from the artificial leg.
Not only do these prosthetics meet quality standards, they are also locally produced and custom-made. This has greatly reduced expenses and increased convenience for the bomb and mine victims of Ha Giang. More importantly, it also reflects the sense of responsibility and kindness from domestic and international social organizations in war remediation.
After 4 months of renovations, the United States Consulate General's American Center in Ho Chi Minh City has opened its door to welcome increased number of visitors with updated and modern facilities. The venue boasts a new lounge where visitors, especially the students, can relax while watching movies or accessing the internet. The center is a venue for people to learn about American culture, practice their English, and receive free and unbiased advice about educational opportunities in America. The American Center was established on September 28, 2011 and was closed on December 15 last year for renovations as part of the commemoration activities for the 20th anniversary of normalized relations between Vietnam and the U.S. The new American Center is expected to reflect the ever-improving relationship between American and Vietnamese people. Now, starting from Monday, parents of children above the age of 6 who are not wearing helmets will be fined. According to the National Enforcement Action Plans launched last week, the plan is a part of larger action plan for child helmet, which aims to significantly increase child helmet wearing rates and is an important step towards improved motorcycle passenger safety in Vietnam. According to the National Traffic Safety Committee, enforcers will also collect data as they patrol schools to find out which schools have low rates of child helmet use for further action and follow-ups. Each year, about 1,900 children die of traffic accidents annually in Vietnam. Of these, about 50% suffer head injuries because they were not wearing helmets. The opening ceremony of National Tourism Year 2015 under the theme of Connect World Heritages was held in the central city of Thanh Hóa yesterday evening. The event was launched with a torchlight procession to welcome the bronze drum from Dom Co Temple in Yên Định District into the central state. A highlight of the event was a special performance combining traditional and contemporary art to portray the province as a land of heritage. The opening ceremony introduced a number of UNESCO-recognized cultural heritage sites, some of the most popular destinations in Vietnam. It also highlighted the country's key cultural events and a link in tourism developments among various localities through World Heritage Sites. Boosting tourism and fulfilling the potential of Vietnam and Thanh Hóa in particular was the main focus of events, where attendees were encouraged to join hands in preserving the value of World Heritage Sites and fostering sustainable tourism. A workshop on responsible tourism and cultural heritage was organized in Hanoi on April the 3rd. At the event, experts discussed the application of responsible tourism standards in Vietnam in the framework of the environmentally and socially responsible tourism capacity development program. We have more in the following report.
Trang An Scenic Landscape Complex is the most recently recognized among Vietnam's 8 World Heritage by UNESCO. It combines conservation activities and responsible tourism, an important condition to the sustainable development of a country's tourism. This is also the topic discussed at a workshop on responsible tourism and cultural heritage in Hanoi on April the 3rd. At the event, experts presented the conservation efforts in heritage sites and the outcomes of the environmentally and socially responsible tourism capacity development program, or ESRT. This program is funded by the European Union with 3 purposes: providing policy support and institutional strengthening, enhancing product competitiveness and public-private partnerships, providing vocational education and training in tourism sector.
We worked with the authorities and the businesses together to introduce tourist information center techniques and trainings. A mixture of stakeholders come together and they discuss on different strategies and actions, all related to responsible tourism.
More than 3,500 people from local authorities, communities, and tour operators at heritage sites were trained according to the responsible tourism standards. ESRT also released a responsible tourism toolkit, including good practices specified for Vietnam's tourism industry. At the event, experts also emphasized the importance of training in the sector.
We design subjects and practice activities which stress the application of responsible tourism standards. For example, we trained our students about showing tourists how to act responsibly and educate visitors about all the values of the sites. It is a win-win situation. When the government applies responsible tourism standards, the values of heritage sites will be recognized. Conversely, when their values are widely known, it will increase the attractiveness for tourism products.
Vietnam has made a lot of efforts to develop the country's tourism sector in a sustainable manner. In the government's latest resolution about this issue, responsible tourism was mentioned as one of the approaches to achieve this goal.
According to a recent report by Vietnam's General Statistics Office, the number of international visitors to Vietnam has been on the decline since last June. In key markets like China, Russia, and neighboring ASEAN countries, the visitor numbers are dropping. In light of this situation, Vietnam is promoting tourism in Western European markets like England, Germany, and France.
A seminar on developing tourism in specific markets like England and Germany was held recently in Hanoi. At the seminar, experts said that Western Europe is a potentially lucrative tourism market for Vietnam. In recent years, the UK, Germany, and France were among the top 15 biggest tourism markets in Vietnam, and last year the number of German visitors increased 45.7% on the previous year's figures.
Western European countries, especially England, Germany and France, are strategic markets for Vietnam. This market has a high spending rate and a large population. Lots of German tourists spend their winter holidays in Vietnam.
Many tour operators in Vietnam have changed their focus to Western European countries, as they see this potentially as the future market. Tourists from these countries also think of Vietnam as a peaceful, hospitable and attractive destination. As such, travel companies are compiling luxury travel tours to cater for these visitors.
Tourists are interested in the quality of products, so we are developing specific products for customers from Western European areas. For example, in terms of food, we're using the traditional cuisine of the Muong culture with a modern twist to suit the taste of these visitors.
Every year, the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism has collaborated with Vietnam Airlines and enterprises to participate in the fair. In 2015, we will also organize roadshows, programs and cultural fairs combined with press conferences to promote Vietnam's image as a tourism destination.
However, in order for Vietnam to become an attractive destination for Western European tourists, Vietnam still needs to address its existing shortcomings, including improving the quality of infrastructure, improving service quality, and the diversification of its tourism products. Now, Tieng Festival, one of the major spiritual events in the north, began on Friday, drawing a wave of people who made their pilgrimage routes to pray for a new year of good health and happiness and prosperity. The Tieng Festival site spans over 100 hectares within Tam Dao National Park, which is dotted with beautiful forests, streams, waterfalls, and dozens of religious buildings. It is held annually on the 15th day of the second lunar month to commemorate Mother Lăng Thị Tiêu, who made great contributions to national defense, peace, and agricultural development during Hùng King era. Vĩnh Phúc is home to several popular tourist destinations, including Tieng, Tam Dao Resort, Tam Dao National Park, and Đại Lai Lake. It also boasts over 1,000 tangible and intangible cultural relics. And here comes the review of last week's most highlighted events.
The 132nd Assembly of the Inter-Parliament Union and related meeting has wrapped up this Wednesday in Hanoi, Vietnam. As expected, the Hanoi Declaration titled The Sustainable Development Goals, Turning Words into Action was officially adopted at the closing of this event. The declaration highlights the need for Parliament's and decision-making process to be strengthened for better realizing the new Sustainable Development Goal. During the 5-day working of the 132nd IPU Assembly and related meetings, the member countries adopted 3 draft resolutions regarding cyber warfare, water governance, international law relating to sovereignty, non-intervention in the internal affairs of state and human rights. The declaration emphasized IPU parliamentarian responsibilities in holding governments accountable for the goals they have subscribed to and to make sure related laws to be passed and budget adopted.
Party General Secretary Nguyen Phu Trọng called for expeditious, transparent and timely trials for serious and complicated corruption cases during his meeting with the Central Steering Committee for Anti-Corruption in Hanoi this Tuesday. The General Secretary also discussed anti-corruption plans within individual ministries, sectors and localities in 2015 and reviewed progress on a number of specific corruption cases and credit activities at 4 major state-owned commercial banks. He said recent efforts by the committee helped raise awareness and responsibility of party organizations and agencies in the fight against corruption. The committee agreed to single out provinces, cities and ministries to examine and supervise anti-corruption activities.
A meeting to boost collaboration in the management of the economy was held this Tuesday by the Ministry of Investment and Planning, Finance, Industry and Trade and the State Bank of Vietnam. Speaking at the meeting, Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng asked ministries to actively promote exports in order to achieve the state target of 10% growth in export value, while increasing competitiveness and securing more market share in agro products. Raw material exports should be limited while more efforts should be made in terms of in-house manufacturing and processing oil, gas and mining products. More measures to improve the business climate and simplify administrative procedures are also required. The Prime Minister also required ministries to fully apply market economy conditions to state-managed product categories, including medical services and education in the near future.
The Steering Committee for the Northwestern Region, in collaboration with Sơn La Province People's Committee and the Vietnam Bank for Social Policies this week, organized a conference to promote investment and social welfare in the area. The Steering Committee has identified 5 priority sectors for investment: research and the application of technology, agroforestry, mineral exploitation and processing, tourism development, and the development of the border economic zone. During this event, investors learned about incentives to attract investment and exchange experiences for better socio-economic cooperation within the region.
The opening ceremony of National Tourism Year 2015 under the theme of Connecting World Heritages was held in the central city of Thanh Hóa this Friday. The opening ceremony introduced a number of UNESCO-recognized cultural heritage sites, some of the most popular destinations in Vietnam. It also highlighted the country's key cultural events and a link in tourism development among various localities throughout World Heritage sites. Boosting tourism and fulfilling the potential of Vietnam and Thanh Hóa in particular was the main focus of the event, where attendees were encouraged to join hands in preserving the value of World Heritage sites and fostering sustainable tourism.
Japan commits 112.4 billion yen or $935 million of ODA loans for Vietnam in the fiscal year of 2014. This was announced at a signing ceremony of exchange of notes held in Hanoi this Tuesday. This loan will continue to help Vietnam develop socio-economic infrastructure through the projects to build Bến Lức Long Thành Expressway, Taiping 1 thermal power plant, a credit package for electricity network. In addition, part of this loan will be used for other fields. With its 112.4 billion yen of ODA loans, Japan's ODA commitment to Vietnam has amounted to 2.5 trillion yen, or nearly $20.86 billion.
And our bulletins now continues with the weather updates. That's the end of what we have for you at these hours. Simply visit our website at vtv4.vn or our YouTube channel, youtube.com/vtv4go for more news and updates. Thank you very much for watching and goodbye for now.